Hey G-Fans, GojiFan93 here, and I'm here to give my thoughts on the Godzilla Aftershock comic. So I finished reading the comic book yesterday as of this recording, and it actually was pretty darn good. I'm also doing this audio style because that I can show pictures and all that stuff. I feel like it might be better. But anyways, I really enjoyed this comic a lot more actually than Godzilla Awakening. I guess because this comic has a lot more going for it in terms of the plot when it comes to Godzilla King of the Monsters and like how it sets up the film. And one thing that I really thought was cool was that they showed more of Emma. They showed like a little bit of her backstory of her, getting involved with all this stuff. And then how she first met Alan Jonah. And what was exceptionally great about this comic was actually getting to see Godzilla fight this Muto Prime character. This is a really awesome looking Muto, and I really wish that this comic was actually in the movie. Like, I feel like it would have made the movie so much better. But again, I'm enjoying the extended material, but it just pains me because I really wish that this stuff was in the movies we got, rather than having to, go out and look at all this external stuff. But regardless, what the comic book has is really cool. The one thing that I thought was also cool was how I never even knew this, and I guess it's really cool how they actually give context to Godzilla's design change in King of the Monsters compared to what it was in 2014. But it was really cool how they basically explained why Godzilla's dorsal plates are different. And I guess when Godzilla was fighting the Muto Prime, that his dorsal plates got damaged or like broken, and then he regenerated them, which is why they look different. So that's just really cool. Like, I really like that attention to detail, and I like how it sort of gives a canonical reason for the design change, not only for the aesthetic for the movie just because they wanted an updated model, but also because like, oh no, look, we actually give a reason why that he looks a little different. So I really like that. The other thing that was really cool was this comic, and again, I mean, of course, I'm reading a comic that's, years old, so a lot of this is already known, but to me, it's not. What I thought was also extremely cool to learn about was in 2014, when Dr. Serizawa and the team are in the Philippines and they're in the cave system looking at that big skeletal, creature or whatever. A lot of us did think that might have been a Godzilla because the Mutos were like, creating egg sacs inside it and all that stuff. Well, what's so cool is, and some people were speculating that that's not a Godzilla character or whatever, but like that actually was like an older Godzilla. That was a Godzilla that the ancient civilizations were praising or worshiping, was that Godzilla. Now, technically in the comic, he's not called Godzilla. Godzilla is the one that we follow in the movies, but this other Godzilla character type is actually was named something else, and I'll put the name of it on the screen because I can't remember. But what was cool is that the whole point of it was that this Muto was trying to give those, trying to have Godzilla be like to have him birth Mutos, which I thought was just like really cool. So I really liked how they basically confirmed that, yeah, one, there's multiple Godzillas. There's it is a species, and two, that skeleton in the cave system was a Godzilla. So that was pretty cool. That was a really awesome revelation there. I really thought that was something special. Also, the thing with the comic that was nice was it was easier to read. The way that the layout of the comic book, it was way easier to understand what panels came next. The Awakening comic book, just too many things were happening way too fast, and it was sort of hard to follow. But in this one, the panels are way more easier to understand and like which one goes in order. And the other thing I liked was the illustrations. The illustrations on the comic were really well done. Some of the characters that they show are like super close to what the actual actors look like in the movies. So I really appreciated the art style of this comic, and Godzilla looks fantastic. And another detail that I didn't know, I had to actually watch D-Man's video of when he was talking about the comic because I wanted to learn a little bit more after reading it. But I guess something that I didn't notice that he pointed out was that Godzilla's scar, like there's scarring on Godzilla in this comic, and I guess the scarring is actually shown in the movies too. So when I rewatched Godzilla King of the Monsters, I'm gonna have to look and see that scarring that's there that was made by his fight with the Muto Prime. So overall, I thought it was a fantastic comic, actually. Again, I'm not a major comic book fan, but this comic definitely has a lot more going for it than the other one. And also what's really cool is that the events that happen in this comic book are actually talked about in the novelization, because currently I'm listening to the audiobook version because I wanted to give that a try, of the novelization of King of the Monsters, and they actually refer to the fight of Godzilla with Muto Prime, and also his like dorsal plates breaking and all that stuff. There's so many cool references and callbacks and things to 2014 and all this, and I love that because that's finally giving like super connective tissue to these films, and I really, really enjoy that. So yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts on the comic. Overall, I really enjoyed it. It's way better than Godzilla Awakening, and and a lot more of the events and canonical things are, actually still relevant to the rest of the MonsterVerse. So it's really good stuff. I really enjoyed it, and that's pretty much it. That's my thoughts on Godzilla Aftershock. So again, currently I'm listening to the audiobook of King of the Monsters, the novelization, and I'll give my thoughts on that when I'm finished listening to it. And that will be it for me, guys. As always, thank you so much for watching, and stay big, G fans.